518 inches.
No, I just said 518.
Oh.
You gotta figure it out.
So
do the math.
You're 6'6".
There you go. There you go. It's always easy to say I'm 6'6", but you know when I put it in the 518, it's like. Or I think it's like 78 inches, something like that. But anyway, yeah, I came down from Des Moines, from my home near Altoona. By no means is this the longest drive. Yesterday I had to drive to Iowa City, then on to, have you ever heard of Wyoming, Iowa? Well, I did yesterday, and it is east of Cedar Rapids, about an hour or so. So by no means are you my farthest drive. As a matter of fact, I kind of like this drive down here. I was telling the last class, my son is in, he's been playing basketball, like the club basketball since 3rd grade. I think every year they come down here and play in the basketball tournament. And this year's no exception. He'll play in the 7th grade tournament down here. And I'm not even too sure when that is, but I know it's coming up. So I'll be back down here again. Again, my name's John Walker, Asvab program manager. I'm the guy responsible for marketing this program and for doing the career seminars. I do a lot of career seminars. Yesterday I did 3 of them alone. And I'm pretty much booked all next week and right up until Thanksgiving, you know, doing these things. Which I enjoy doing it because, for one, I'm a former teacher. So I like getting back in the classroom. And then I get to leave, which is kind of nice. So my responsibility lasts about 45 to 50 minutes per class. Unlike your teachers where they got you all day. I used to be a school principal. I used to be a K-12 assistant principal, athletic director, middle school principal, and elementary principal. And I used to teach social studies in junior high. I don't look that old, right? Right? Good, good. Because I don't feel that old sometimes. But, you know, I've been around the block when it comes to education. Basically, my wife and I, originally from Waterloo, I'm a graduate of University of Northern Iowa. And you're going to be going up there tomorrow, right? Any football players in here?
Football players?
Any football? Okay, good luck tomorrow. I'll be watching for you in the paper on Sunday then. You guys are playing right when the Iowa Hawkeyes play.
I was going to say, you can watch the live stream.
Yes, yes. You know, and so, and I'll actually be working at the Iowa Wild game tomorrow night up in Des Moines. But the nice thing is I've got a TV right there, and we're going to have the high school playoffs on one TV, and we'll have the Iowa football game on the other. So I'll have to remember that to make sure and tune in to watch you guys play tomorrow. Okay? So today what we're going to, yeah, my wife and I were originally from Waterloo, and we moved to Illinois for about 15, 16 years. We wanted to come back to Iowa because, you know, believe it or not, Iowa has one of the best educational systems in the United States. Illinois is a train wreck. And so, you know, we wanted to come back and give our kids a good quality education. So I do have a daughter who's going to be starting UNI this semester because she was at DMAC for the last 3 semesters. And I've got another daughter who's a senior. And she's gone, and both of them have gone through this process. They were kind of forced to do it, you know, but it helped them out because they understood what they could do and where they could go to get what they need. Even though my senior daughter, she's kind of freaking out because she's any cross-country runners in here? Any? Okay, I like any track and field? Okay. You know, my daughter, she qualified for state 4 years in a row for cross-country, and she'll be probably qualifying for state track, and so we've got people that are interested in her. And just this morning, I'm looking at 4 different schools that have emailed me saying, hey, we'd like to talk to your daughter about track and coming to our school. So believe it or not, you're going to have a lot of choice decisions to make here in the next couple, you know, year and a half or so. Because if you're anything like me, I don't want my kid living at home after they graduate from high school, you know, with nothing to do. They're not going to be eating potato chips and watching The View downstairs while I'm at work, okay? So I told them they had to have some sort of a plan. And luckily, my first 2 daughters, my first daughter, she's well on her way with her plan. My senior, she's got a lot of decisions to make between now and May. And of course, we're going to help her along that way. Very similar for you. Am I going to go to college? Am I going to go to a 2-year program? Do I know what I want to do? Am I going to go to the military? Am I going to go straight to work right out of high school? Those are all decisions that you're going to make, okay, have to make in the next year and a half. And believe me, it comes by quicker than what you think. All right? I mean, it just seemed like yesterday, my wife and I were my wife was giving birth to our oldest daughter. She's 20 now. So it's just amazing how quick time goes. So don't wait until the last minute to start making these decisions. And that's what this program is going to help you do. That's the whole one of the reasons why you took this program. Not because the school wanted to give you another test. And now, the nice thing about this test, nobody fails the Asvab. How many times have you heard that before? You know, probably very rare if you ever heard somebody say, oh man, you know, this is a test that you can't fail. You can't fail career exploration. Now, I've got a question though. Is anybody interested in the military in here? Nobody. Wow. Second class in a row. That's surprising because normally I get a hand or two. Well, even I mean, if you don't want to admit to it, that's okay. You know, or you're a little squeamish about it because you might be the only hand that goes up. That's okay because you know what? It's not for everybody. But this is the test that you have to take in order to get in the military. All right. But for about 97% of the people that take this test, it's career exploration. Okay. So, and we'll talk about that little military aspect here in a few minutes, okay? And I don't want to freak anybody out because you're not going to be recruited. I'm not a recruiter. I mean, I did my hitch. I was 5 years in the Air Force. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I was 5 years in the Air Force and 15 in the Air National Guard, on top of all that other stuff that I did. So I kind of see, you know, I've kind of run the whole gamut of things. I've had a pretty experienced life, which is pretty cool, you know. We went into Hy-Vee the other day for breakfast. I took all 4 of my kids in, called 2 in late for school, to have breakfast with me at Hy-Vee because they were doing the big Veterans Day, you know, free breakfast thing. And they had a little pin board up there on where have you been, you know, when you were in the military. And my kids were just amazed, and I sat there, and of course I put it in Omaha, and I put one up in Maine, and I put one in Sicily, I put one in the United Kingdom, I put one over in Upper Italy, Northern Italy, I put one over in Japan, and you know, they were just kind of amazed at all the different places I've been. So it is pretty cool, and that's why my daughter wants me to go on the Amazing Race with her. Because she goes, every time we watch that show, I can say, oh, I've been there, I've been there. But the only place I really haven't been is probably, you know, well, I guess I've been there too. I mean, like Nepal and, you know, places like that, but, you know, been to Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, and things like that. So, kind of see the world, which is pretty cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the, we're going to get your ASVAB summary results. But what time did we get out of here today?
We were out of here at 10:05.
10:05, okay. We're going to look at our ASVAB result sheet, okay? Then what we're going to do is once we get in with the ASVAB results, if you haven't already logged on to the computers, go ahead and log on to them, okay? Because we're going to use the computer for the second part of this program, and it's the majority of it. And this is where you're going to do your career search, or I'm going to show you how to work the program. This program is good for 2 years for you. You've got it until July of 2017, so well after hopefully you've graduated, okay? This program is going to allow you to not only look at careers you might be interested in, but you're going to find out information about those careers. So can anybody give me one piece of information that you want to know about a career? This is called wait time.
Come on, guys.
This is called wait time. I learned this when I went through my methods class and teaching. What's one thing? You can't tell me, you know, what's one thing? It learned. Okay, what educational level, right? Good, good, yeah. What else? Thank you. How much money are you going to make? You're not interested in that? You don't want to know how much money you're going to make? Yes, no, maybe so? Okay, yeah. Yeah, because you know what? If you look for a job and you're anticipating going to 4 years of college for this job, and you're going to come out of there and the top salary or the starting salary for this job is $16,000 a year, is that going to be totally worth 4 years of college for $16,000 a year? I mean, I ran into that program when I went up to probably when I went up to UNI back in the '90s, where I sat there and I wanted to go into radio and television broadcasting, mainly radio. Got the perfect face for radio. Okay.
That was a
See
joke.
the face on radio, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, I even got a job over at Marshalltown, KXIA 101.1. Your 101 and only source for country music. I hated country music, but it was a job, you know, in the industry. Found out, the guy told me that they made a base salary of $13,000 a year.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, of course, this was back in the 1990s, but still. Okay, I'm sitting there going, 4 years of college, base salary $13,000 a year. So I changed my major. Okay. Kind of miss it, and every so once in a while I'll work with a friend of mine for DJ dances, but I couldn't see myself doing that for $13,000 a year. Okay. So we're going to find out how much money, what education level you need, and where can you go to get that education. Okay. So first, let's look at the results. Okay. On the results, you'll see a set of scores with X's on it, right? That are plotted on there. And they're plotted on a chart. This is based on what you got right. So Asvab takes what you got right, they plot it on the chart. Most of your scores are going to fall between 30 and 70. Okay, that's where very few will score below a 30. Very few will score above a 70. The average score is 50. So you look at that 50 line, and that's the average score. So now you can look at a visual and see, hey, where did my scores fall? Do I have some scores that fall above the 50 line? That means you scored above the average line on those. Okay? Now, the thing is, I do have some students that don't score above the 50 line on some of them because, you know what, maybe they're not the best standardized test takers in the world. The whole point of this is to identify strength areas for you. And that could be represented by the X's falling farther to the right. That could show some strength areas for you. Maybe you had a science score that, you know, kind of went off the chart there on the right-hand side. Or maybe your electronics or auto and shop score went off the chart a little bit to the right. Okay? Whatever it is, you can identify, you can take a look and see, hey, you know what, I did pretty well in mathematics reasoning. Or mathematic knowledge. Yeah, mathematic knowledge and arithmetic reasoning. Okay, so you know there you can start identifying some skills for you because believe it or not, there are careers out there that have different, you know, set of skills in mind. And we're going to find those here in a few minutes too. Now the purplish area is the percentile ranking, and that's probably what you're most familiar with. There's 3 columns. There's a male, female, and an overall 11th grade column. I want you to look at that 11th grade column, and I want you to look at your science score. Say you scored a 65. That means you scored better than 65% of the students that took this test. The higher that number is, the better you did against the whole. Now this isn't just within the class, this is nationwide. Okay? Lowest score you can get is a 1, highest score you can get is a 99. And the reason it doesn't go up to 100 because you're factored into that. You can't score against yourself. So that's why it's only from 1 to 99. So again, if you scored a 99, you scored better than everybody on that test. You were in the 99th percentile. Okay, if you scored a 92, that means that there was only 7% of the student population that scored better than you. Okay? So again, you start taking a look and see, where did I score my higher percentile rankings? And that could show a strength for you. Now, Asvab sat there and said, hey, look, we want to break it down also. We want to show how you scored against males and females. So that's why they have the male and female column. All of those scores are yours. That's how you scored. The male column is how you scored against the males. Female column is how you scored against the females. These things are important because there are certain areas that males are more strong, that are stronger in than females, and vice versa. Males on this test are stronger in the science, electronics, auto and shop, and mechanical. Well, the